I was asked about the following phrase: that person triggers me. So my response is simple, and my responses are always only ever what's true for me. That if somebody does something, for example, if you have somebody that interrupts you when you're speaking, or if you're driving down the street and you get cut off in traffic, right? If you go, oh, that person triggered me, or that person made me mad, or that person made me anything, that's an indication that there may be some thought, some belief that requires attention and may require healing. Here's why I say that. If when speaking to you, you cut me off and I say, I feel triggered, because usually it comes with a pout, right? Like, I feel triggered when you cut me off. What you're really saying is, when you do, I feel. Well, you're responsible for what you do. I'm responsible for what I feel. Now, here's the beautiful thing. If we just use the word trigger, it triggered the feeling of being triggered, right? I feel triggered. Wonderful. Every feeling and emotion is connected to a thought. So now what's the thought connected to the feeling triggered? I feel triggered because I'm always cut off. I feel triggered because people never seem to listen to me. I feel triggered because when people don't listen to me, I don't feel valuable, or I don't feel like I'm enough, or I don't feel respected, or I don't feel significant, or I don't feel like a gift. So the real challenge or issue that comes into play is when the person does what they do and you feel triggered, maybe what it's bringing up is an opportunity for you to rewrite the script or change the narrative, so that you allow yourself to recognize that even in the presence of somebody that may interrupt, may be overbearing, may take over a conversation, may dominate the conversation, may interrupt in a way where you no longer have the opportunity to speak, you don't have the connection to not being enough. You just recognize that their behavior doesn't work for you, doesn't honor you, and that might require a subsequent conversation associated with boundaries. Let me let you know that when you cut me off when I'm speaking, I feel, and then you can share with them what the feelings are, and then you can share with them what you need. There are times where I come to you and you interrupt, and it's okay. There are moments where I come to you and you interrupt and it doesn't work for me, it doesn't honor me. What I'm asking for, or what I'm requesting, is that you allow me to complete my statement, or you allow me to share until I'm complete. Afterwards, please share with me your personal experience, or share with me your feedback, right? Or the advice that you may want to give. So if you hear yourself saying, they trigger me, it's not true that they trigger you. What's true is that they are behaving or acting in some way. What is also true is that you feel what you feel. Both are true and both are valid. But if what you're telling me is that somebody can trigger you, then you're also telling me that somebody else is responsible for your happiness, your joy, your stability, your peace. And if that's the case, well, then that for me is like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz trying to get to Oz and the wizard so that she can have something or someone outside of her make her feel good, make her feel happy. That's why I love the part in the movie where the balloon flies off, because it was one last opportunity that she made, right, to get something from somebody. Oh, if I can just get these people to stop doing what they're doing, then I will feel happy. Well, that's where we give our power over to something outside of us. So if you ever hear yourself say, I feel triggered, or they annoy me, is I feel triggered is a healthier relationship between the thoughts, the emotions, and the actions, compared to they trigger me, which gives somebody else the power over your emotional state. So look at what's connected to the trigger, because every thought is connected to some emotion or feeling. And the beauty of the person or the people in your life that are supporting the trigger is they are supporting your healing, whether they intend it to be so or not. They are pointing at the fact that there's a thought that exists. And oh my God, if you get to the thought and create a new thought, or heal the attachment that you have to it. Because sometimes when we say, I never feel like I'm listened to, it's because we were raised not being heard, or we were in a relationship where we weren't heard and we never healed that. So we carry that injury or wound into the next relationship, and all we can seem to ever identify with are the things that do things to me, rather than recognizing that in your statement, that thing, that behavior is showing you, teaching you what you need to know, see, understand in this moment so that you can heal it, create a new relationship with it, and then respond rather than react. So perhaps the trigger is opening up a new way to relate to you and then subsequently to the world. Be gentle on your journey.